So, according to latest story, is that a top US diplomat went to Niger to meet the coup leaders and tried to bribe them with $200 million US, and they refused. And according to this article here, it says that a US diplomat visits Niger to meet the coup leaders and pushed for Bazoum's release. So the official story is that she was there to try to see the president, Mohamed Bazoum. So, and that's the story says that a senior United States diplomat has visited Niger to push coup authorities to restore democratic rule after their overthrow of President Mohamed Bazoum last month. And the lady or the diplomat is called Victoria Nuland. She's a U.S. acting Deputy Secretary of State. A lot of you know that she's one of those people who openly and frankly says that the United States has been, or she has been part of a group that has been planning to basically weaken Russia. She has been part of a group that for the last 15 years have been in Ukraine, planning to basically bring Ukraine to NATO. So that's how famous she is, and that's how lethal she is. She's an enemy of Russia basically. And today she's going to Niger, and she went there officially to see whether she can talk to them in a beautiful language and convince them in a sexy way to let this president resume his basically rule in that country. But according to an article from Substack, I won't say from which journalist, but the journalist claims that he got the intel from someone inside the United States government, is that the US sent this lady to go there and try to bribe these coup leaders, the generals, by offering $200 million US. I suspect they try to even negotiate the figure a little bit higher, but the leaders, these coup leaders, refused. And from the council, the junta leader, we can say council, there are about 6 generals, and today actually they appointed a prime minister from the civilian side. So there are less than 10 people. So if they were offered $200 million US, so we are talking about 20 million each. So that is money that any one of them could have taken. But they're patriots. They refused. They refused the money, and they refused to do what she had come there to do. And let me tell you, you believe that a United States Secretary of State, someone who operates from the Oval Office with the president, flew all the way from the United States 3,000 kilometers to come to one of the poorest countries in Africa, Niger, to just negotiate? Why not make a phone call? Why can't Joe Biden just call them? So she came to bribe them. That's the only. I also want to believe that story. It was a bribe and they refused it. The other thing you need to note is that the US constructed this military base in a region called Agadez in Niger, and initially they used 110 million. Since 2019 they've been operating it. It has cost them another almost 100 million since that time. They have about 1,100 troops on that base, plus other personnel like the mechanics, the cook, the doctors. They're talking about 2,000 US Army personnel at that base. So it's a huge base. And the other reason I suspect she went there is to deliver a threat from the United States in person by saying that if you threaten our base or you attack our base, then we are going to do ABCD. So that is also another reason why she flew all the way to come and deliver that. And from this article, as you can see, they're saying that the base is called Nigerian Air Base 201, and it cost that much, 110, as I said. But so far it has cost almost another similar amount to manage it and maintain it. The US, it has this runway, 6,000 foot runway. So if you divide that by 3, definitely you are going to know it's about 2 kilometer long runway, and that's what it is. And then it has, according to this article, about 1,100 United States troops, and I said plus other personnel, then we are talking about almost 2,000 people, almost. And in this article is saying that today the US can't use its 110 million drone base in Niger because the airspace above Niger has been closed. But of course we know the US is flying them at night. They usually do that all the time. They violate other countries' airspace. They use jamming technology, satellite technology to evade the radar. So they are flying. Officially they are not, but we know they are doing that. Back to the story is that she tried to bribe that, and that's why they refused. And she started saying that the talk was difficult. From this article, as you can see, Victoria Nuland describes talks with the coup leaders as difficult, as the US calls for the constitutional order in Niger. So definitely they refused the money. These are the general heroes from Niger. A lot of people, poor people in Niger, 25 million poor Nigerians are celebrating them. So there's no way they are going to just betray them and take the bag, you know. So that's the story. That's what happened. And the other thing you need to know then, why would a top diplomat from the United States fly all the way to come there? Okay, if we ignore the base, this is nothing, 110 million US dollar. The US can construct this another base anywhere they want. They just move the equipment there. But why fly all the way? Because of this president. What's up with this president? Who is he? And that's the question, because that even proves he was a puppet of the West, to an extent that a top diplomat from President Biden's office is sent to risk her own life to, you know, a country that has an airspace that is closed, to try to negotiate for his release. That's how much they love him. And the other thing I've been asking myself, he's an Arab, and Arabs in Niger make 0.8%. You can look that up. And in Africa, I mean, we vote along ethnic lines or, you know, religion lines. In Niger, almost everyone is a Muslim, so there's no way he went around campaigning on religion. And in Africa, Niger is one of the poorest, less literate countries. People are there not educated, so you can't go selling manifestos full of policies. They won't understand what you're talking about. So the only other way is to say, look, I'm black, you're black, vote for black. That is easy. And that's why, as you can see from this photo here, all these people, most of these generals are from the Hausa community, and the Hausas make up about 55% of Niger's population. And the other guys you are seeing there, they're from the Tuareg. The Tuareg are a little bit lighter skinned, but they're still black. So the Arabs, having an Arab president, I mean, unless he was rigged in it. Anyway, I don't know about that. But that's the situation. The US tried to bribe these coup leaders, and they even tried to buy the freedom of these presidents. But the coup leaders refused.